Okay, let me start this storage layer. Okay, so we already discussed about the Snowflake architecture. Okay, so Snowflake has the three what we call three-layer architecture. One is storage, warehouse, and then the cloud service layer. Okay, so today we'll zoom into this storage layer. So what are the objects we have in the storage layer? And then we discuss how this works and everything. Okay, let me go with the slide. Okay, so what is the capacity of this Snowflake storage layer? Okay, the capacity is infinity, which means you can store infinity of data. Why? Because it is completely depending on AWS S3. What is the AWS S3 capacity? Infinity. So that is the reason the Snowflake storage capacity is infinity, and you can process and store JSON, CSV, Parquet, Avro, and ORC files as well in the Snowflake table, which we'll see in the later class. Okay, Snowflake users by proxy get availability and durability guarantee to the cloud provider blob storage. Both structured and semi-structured data files can be loaded and stored in the Snowflake. Data loaded in Snowflake is organized by database schema and accessible primarily as a table. Okay, now okay, so what happened whenever we inserted the data? This already we discussed all these points. Whenever I inserted a data into the table, okay, it will be stored in the micro partitions, okay, and in the inside the micro partitions, all the values are arranged in the form of columnary format, okay. Uh, Storage is built by how much is stored based on the flat rate per TB. Data is not directly accessible in the underlying blob storage, only via SQL command. Okay, you cannot access those files. You need to access it through SQL command. Done. Then, so this is how in the real time we do. So there is a multiple
By,
source systems.
by default, when the partition happens,
Yeah.
is going to be the compressed 16 MB files are going to generate.
Yeah, it will be compressed once it is properly arranged in the columnar format. Then the files will get compressed. I don't know the exact size. Okay, I think we can Google it. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly the micro partition size. Okay, it varies from what we call 50 to 500 MB like that. Okay, it varies the size. Okay, so that I know. I need to check. Okay, minimum will be 50 MB and maximum will be 500 MB. You can up to the files can be created. Okay, so yeah. Yeah. So we have multiple source system. Snowflake can do the ELT processing. So it has its own objects to connect with multiple source systems. It can extract the data. And then, so the data will be stored in any of this cloud layer while creating, registering the account. We choose this account. Okay. In the Snowflake, we can do data warehousing. We can do data laking. We can create a pipeline inside the tables and we can exchange the data from one account to another account. I can integrate with any other applications and I can build the AML data science models on top of the Snowflake account. Okay, so analysis team, reporting team, monitoring team, real-time analytical things. These are the reportings and downstreams you can do on top of the Snowflake. Okay, so zooming into the Snowflake, okay, if you have some idea about any databases, right, we have the objects, okay. So we categorize into two types. One is account level object and another one is database level object. Similar things will be applicable here. But along with that, we have other objects like you can see here there is a object called stage, pipe, task, stream, all these are helpful for doing this ELT processing. Okay, so we all know like traditional databases will have these tables, views, materialized views, procedures, functions. Along with that, Snowflake having a object called stage, pipe, task, and stream. Okay. These are used for ELT processing. Okay, so these are all the Snowflake objects we have. Okay, and yeah. Okay. Organization object is the higher object where it has access to all the accounts. And then we have account level objects and then we have database level objects. In the account level objects, we have users, roles, policies, warehouse, share, and resource monitoring. Okay, so coming back. Okay, so consider this Snowflake account is like a supermarket. Okay, so okay, okay, assume you have entered into a supermarket. Okay, all the objects are placed in a category wise, right? All the cool drinks will be in one rack, all the what we called all the vegetables will be in one rack, all the groceries will be one rack, like that, right? In the same way, all these objects will hold some information. If you take this table will hold the data. If you take view will hold the query. If you take functions and procedures, it will hold the scripting, right? So each object will hold some information. Okay, so we have two type of objects. Okay, one is database account level object, another one is database level object. Each object will hold some information. All the information was properly categorized and stored. Okay, there is a concept called schema. Schema is used to categorize the information or objects. Okay, if we store all the objects in a proper way by using the proper schemas, okay, then it's easy for us as well as Snowflake to give response or to do proper storaging and processing in the real time. Okay.
So is the stage holds the data?
Stage will hold the configuration details like parameters. It will hold some parameters values, I can say. There are 8 parameters are there. I think no, not 8, 5 or 6 are there. Those parameters value it will hold.
Okay.
Like it holds storage integration name and this what we called this file format, and then the stage are of two types. One is internal stage and another one is external stage. In the internal stage it can we can store the files as well, like the JSON, XML, all those files we can store it in the stages.
Okay. So when we talk about organization, like a Snowflake account, right?
Yeah.
That's top level, and from the account level, we go to the S3 bucket level, right?
uh,
Or
Whenever I register, right, whenever I do the registration.
yeah, when we registered, we choose that which cloud provider we need to pick for the storage, whether it is an
Okay.
GCP or
Yeah, I
AWS.
already I can create accounts through this console. Okay, by using console also I can create. Or if you register with the same mail ID, if you register with the same mail ID which I have used
My,
previously, then
my
this
question.
email ID is nothing but an organization email ID. Okay, okay. So whenever I create accounts, right, that will be created under that particular organization.
Okay, so but let's say we have created this account and for a line of business,
Yeah.
and the line of business is using this application, and within the line of business, I have groups where I have to create. For example, I work on the finance industry, so I'm just giving an example: loan officers, underwriters, processors, and business analyst and technology partners. Okay, for each one, we have to the way we currently structured in traditional database Oracle databases is for a group of tables we have assigned the roles, and the roles are integrated
That,
within
that that is completely different. Okay, that is completely different. That we can do in this what we called. Let me go governance and security. That structure you can create here, user and role. Okay, what I can tell you, this organization is there, right? Okay, this organization. See, for example, if you take the Reliance will have multiple things like Geo, Reliance Mart, Geo Marts, like that. Multiple businesses are there, right? If they want to
Uh-huh.
maintain separate building and separate things related to their business, they can create multiple accounts like this.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
For
Yeah. So for each business, they can create multiple accounts. So this organization admin can have the multiple account access. Okay. He can create. See, for example, in India, they do some business. If they go to Venezuela, they do oil business, right? So they can create based on the location as well as based on the business. Okay, they can create multiple accounts. Okay, most of the companies will have single account. There are very rare cases where a company will can maintain multiple accounts.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the one. Okay, what are the things you are saying, right? That we can do with the help of these roles. Okay, when we can create multiple roles, user roles, and then in the Oracle as well. In the Oracle, whenever I create the user, then role will get created. But here we need to create manual role manually.
And this
Okay.
can be integrated with any Active Directory applications.
Uh, Sorry, Active Directory.
Yeah. So let's say if I have Microsoft Active Directory or Oracle Active Directory, can this be integrated
Yeah,
with the?
same. Remaining all the things are same. You can do it.
Okay. You understood, right? So
Yeah, I
user
got it. I
doesn't.
got it. You are comparing with the Oracle. I got it. Yeah, we can do the same. What are the things we are doing in the Oracle that we can same do with this role or user IDs that we can do it.
Okay.
Mostly, when it comes to Snowflake, we deal with the role, not with the user. Okay, whenever I want to connect with outside, like I can. Okay, sometimes I can use user as well as role. Depends, but yeah, what are the things I can do in the Oracle? Same things I can do with the Snowflake as well.
Yeah. So currently, our users are boarded in Microsoft Active Directory. So
Okay.
where they have like a Windows user ID and password for their missions. When they logged in using their Windows and password, automatically it authenticates across the board. So like a single sign-on, they don't need to re-authenticate or re-log in anything.
You are talking about Microsoft Authenticator, right?
Yeah, so the way we have integrated is for two set of things. For especially for a credit card line of business, we have integrated with the Oracle Identity Manager,
Okay.
where where all the groups are maintained there. If any user want access, they go there and they raise the request, and it will go for approval process. And that Oracle Identity OAM is integrated with our Oracle
Okay.
database.
Okay. So here,
In
I don't know how the other companies work. In our company, like we have service now. Okay, whenever they need access, right, they will raise a ticket. Okay, so we'll provide those access through this user and role. We provide that access. We can like the admin can create those things. Okay, when it comes to authentication, right, multi-factor authentication, we can add those multi-factor authenticated directly.
Here you guys are integrated with ServiceNow, and ServiceNow API credentials are added here, so it authenticates and go from there.
Um,
No,
mm, Correct. What you are saying is correct. It is integrated with this service now only, but not from the Snowflake. It from the BMC application. There is application called BMC. Okay.
oh,
So BMC BMC will have the direct connector, Snowflake connector. So it can read all the logs and everything. Okay. Whenever the jobs fail, right? So it will directly trigger the service now. Like we are not doing directly from the Snowflake. We are using some BMC application. Okay. BMC application having Snowflake connector. So whenever any jobs fail, any error came, it will track that one and it will raise a ticket in the service now.
okay. So okay, we have there is an agent that is being configured so that that agent triggers
Yes.
for
It's
failures.
like a
Okay,
scheduler. We have a scheduler. I think you are familiar with this BMC. Most of control M. We call it as control M.
okay. We have like a CA7 scheduler
Okay.
integrated with ServiceNow.
Okay. Most of the companies, majorly they use this control M BMC application. Yeah, but yeah, when it comes to completely Oracle Cloud, then the story will be different.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it about this thing, authentication and security part. Coming back to the storage. Okay, so there is organization level user, nothing but the email ID, and then we can create multiple accounts. Okay, under the account we have account level objects, and there is a database. Under the database we have database level objects. Okay, so that's it about this. Okay, just you can go with the slide, like you can read those things. What is this? how the locations or this hosted account is hosted and how to access the URL, all those things. Okay, so let me zoom into the database. Okay, so how we can create the database by using keyword called create database name. Okay, okay, so we all know what we do in the database. We store the data. Okay, we store and process the data. Okay, so data is classified into three types. Okay, one is structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. Here I missed the slides. Okay, fine. Let me log in before it got loaded. So you are familiar with this CT subquery, right?
Yeah, CT is
Okay. Then I'll try to skip more SQL classes because these are like a waste of time. Even we discuss also. I'll give introduction and I'll close the topic. Okay, let me go with the new SQL file. Okay, I already have this workspace. Okay, let me switch to my workspace. SQL. Okay. So I have these things. Let me delete all these things. I don't require this. Then delete. I don't require this Python on all these files. Let me delete these files. So ddl.sql. Let me create a database. Create database. Database name. Let me create batch 49. Okay, done. Done. So let me create a schema. DWH data warehouse. Okay, so if so by default, whenever I create a database, you can see whenever I create database that will be selected. Whenever I created schema that will be selected. If you want to switch from one database to another database, you can use a keyword called use database name. Use schema name. Like that, you can switch to the respective database and respective schema. Okay, next.
Can we join two cross databases?
Yeah, here you can do anything. So you know, right? Like let me create a table. Create table ABC ID int. Okay, I have created in public. Okay. Uh, let me create another database. Test DB. Okay. When I created the database, it has switched to test DB. Now I want to join. Okay. Let me create a table in the test DB as well. Okay, now I want to join these two tables. How I can join? Select A dot star, comma, B dot star from so where I'm in test DB. So directly I can put ABC inner join. I want to call this table B49 database dot public schema. In the public schema,
Oh,
we have this ABC.
I got it. Got it.
Yeah,
We have to declare the database and schema name and the object name.
that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, you can join the table from multiple tables. Like
Okay.
you can easily switch the database from one place to another place. Okay, it's asking to put alias. Let me put this as a B, this as a A.
Yeah, yeah. I got it. What we are saying, and what about multiple uh, domain databases. For example, we have you have created multiple accounts for S3, right? What you have showed me before. Can I jump from one? Uh, I don't think so, but I'm just asking this. We can do it or not?
No, no, no. We cannot do that. Okay. If I want to, if I want, right, I need to create this thing. What we called. I need to create another account in the different vendor like Microsoft. Your question is like if I want to join any account like from Amazon to AWS, Azure, or Amazon to GCP like that, right? You are asking.
Or Amazon to Amazon. I have two accounts from Amazon, and I want.
Both are in same location. Then you can share the data. Okay,
Okay, as
when
long
if
as
both are in same location and same vendor, you cannot interchange with other vendor. If both are in same location, even though it's AWS account, if both the accounts are in same location, then you can share data between both the accounts. There is a concept called sharing that will work only if those both accounts are in same location.
okay, and let's say uh, the organization have their own S3, but before getting the Snowflake, they already have AWS instance. They already migrated on-prem to cloud, and they have the data in S3. Okay,
Okay.
they are onboarding a Snowflakes newly,
Okay.
and when they already have the S3, do they have to move that S3 but data to the Snowflake account S3?
Sorry, like you are migrating the database or you are migrating the files.
Do we have to migrate? Is there a way that we can link existing S3 bucket?
So here we have. So here we can create the stage. Okay, but the question is different. Okay, I am not getting your question. You are saying, see, on-premises means your on-premises database or or the files. That is my question. See, this is Oracle.
Let
Oracle
me
will
tell.
get a files through some server. Okay, there is a Unix server. So we will load data from this here to here by using some SQL loaders or some ETL tool. Okay. So if it is comes to Snowflake, what is the exact thing you want to migrate? You want to migrate this data to Snowflake, or you want to migrate these files to Snowflake?
No, my question is different. సో ఇప్పుడు మన ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తున్నానండి. ఇప్పుడు ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో ఆల్రెడీ అమెజాన్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్మెంట్ చేసుకున్నారు. స్నోఫ్లేక్
అవును.
రాలేదు.
ఓకే.
సో వాళ్ళు ఏం చేశారంటే ఎర్లీ అడాప్షన్‌లోనే వాళ్ళకున్న ఆన్ ప్రెమ్ ఉన్న డేటాని అమెజాన్ అకౌంట్‌లోకి S3లోకి మైగ్రేట్ చేసేసుకున్నారు.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇది వరాకిల్ అనుకోండి. దీంట్లో ఉన్న డేటాని S3కి మైగ్రేట్ చేశారు అంటున్నారు అంతేనండి?
S3కి మైగ్రేట్ చేశారు
ఓకే.
కరెంట్‌గా.
ఓకే.
నౌ business came up, hey, we found an awesome tool, Snowflakes. We want to get this so that we have a lot more productivity అని చెప్పి స్నోఫ్లేక్ని ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేశారు.
ఓకే.
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 నౌ మనం స్నోఫ్లేక్స్ ఐ మీన్ అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు వీఆర్ చూసింగ్ దట్ హే వీ వాంట్ ఫ్రెష్ S3 అకౌంట్
అవునండి. సెలెక్ట్ చేసాం.
సెలెక్ట్ చేసాం కదా.
ఓకే.
ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ఉన్న S3 అకౌంట్ని కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఉంటుందా?
అసలు
మ్యాండేటరీ.
అంటే ఈ అకౌంట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఇది మనకి అసలు సంబంధం లేదండి. ఇట్స్ కంప్లీట్లీ రిలేటెడ్ టు స్నోఫ్లేక్ ఒక యూజర్ అనమాట. అంటే ఈ అకౌంట్లో ఏదైతే యూజర్ ఉన్నాడో ఇది స్నోఫ్లేక్ యూజర్. వీ కెనాట్ యాక్సెస్ దిస్ అకౌంట్. వీ క్యాన్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్ హియర్. ఎన్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద థింగ్స్ వీ డూ ఇన్ ద స్నోఫ్లేక్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. స్నోఫ్లేక్ will process and store the data with the help of this AWS. But this thing we cannot accessible or visible to us.
సో
We can do
డెఫినెట్‌గా
anything.
చేయాల్సిందే.
ఏంటండి మనం మామూలుగానే స్నోఫ్లేక్ టేబుల్లోకి లోడ్ చేయాల్సిందే తప్ప మనకి ఈ S3 కానీ ఇవేమి యాక్సెస్ అవ్వవు అసలు. ఇది కంప్లీట్లీ రిలేటెడ్ టు స్నోఫ్లేక్ అకౌంట్. స్నోఫ్లేక్ వాడి యొక్క AWS అకౌంట్ ఇది. సో దీనికి మనకు యాక్సెస్ ఉండదు. మనం ఏం చేసినా స్నోఫ్లేక్ వాడు ఇచ్చిన ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ని యూజ్ చేసి ఆర్ వాడు ఇచ్చిన టూల్స్ యూజ్ చేసి మాత్రమే చేయగలం. ఏం చేసినా ఏం ప్రాసెస్ చేసినా.
ఓకే. ఎనీ ఆన్ ప్రెమ్ S3 ఉంటే దెన్ ఇట్ డజంట్ మ్యాటర్.
అంటే ఆన్ ప్రిమ్ అంటే మీన్ S3 ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ AWS ప్రొడక్ట్. ఓకే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ మీకు యూనిక్స్ ఉంది, యూనిక్స్ సర్వర్ ఉంది. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు లోడ్ డేటా ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ యూనిక్స్ టు హియర్, ఓకే, ఆన్ ఎ డైలీ బేసిస్ ఆర్ వన్ టైమ్. Okay, so first what we need to do, we need to install Snow. There is a Snowflake CLI. It's a installation tool. okay, or exe file we need to install on the server. And by you in the command prompt, or you can schedule a job. In the job you can put some put command. Okay, that put command will place all these files, or it will take all the files and it will load it into the Snowflake.
ఓకే.
Okay.
కానీ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ S3లో ఉన్న డేటాను మైగ్రేట్ చేయాలని అది కూడా ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఎ బ్రాండ్ న్యూ మైగ్రేషన్.
చేయొచ్చు. ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ S3కి ఇప్పుడు మీ క్లౌడ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్, ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ AWS S3, అమెజాన్లో మనం, సారీ ఎజూర్లో బ్లాబ్ అంటాం, జీసీపీలో గూగుల్ క్లౌడ్ స్టోరేజ్ అంటాం. సో దీనికి స్నోఫ్లేక్ వాడు కొన్ని కనెక్టర్స్ ఇచ్చాడు ఆల్రెడీ. స్టోరేజ్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ అనే ఆబ్జెక్ట్లో కొన్ని కనెక్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆ కనెక్టర్స్ వాడి మీరు డైరెక్ట్గా డేటాను లోడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, లెట్ మీ షో
ఓకే.
యూ. ఓకే, ఇది చూడండి. ఓకే, మామూలుగా ఏంటంటే మీకు ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ కానీ ఎజూర్ కానీ జీసీపీ కానీ, ఓకే, ఇక్కడ కనుక మీకు ఫైల్స్ ఉంటే డైరెక్ట్గా ఈ స్టోరేజ్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ద్వారా మీరు ఈ డేటాని డైరెక్ట్గా టేబుల్లోకి లోడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ టు ఆన్ ప్రిమిసెస్ అనుకోండి, అక్కడ మీరు సిఎల్ఐ, స్నోఫ్లేక్ సిఎల్ఐ అనేది దీంట్లో ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసి ఈ ఫైల్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో ఇక్కడ ఉన్నవి దీన్ని మన స్నోఫ్లేక్ స్టేజ్లోకి పెట్టుకుని ఈ స్టేజ్ నుంచి మనం టేబుల్లోకి లోడ్ చేస్తాం.
ఓకే. ఈ పైన ప్రాసెస్‌లో ఇక్కడ ఒక కాపీ ఉంటది. అక్కడ ఒక కాపీ ఆఫ్ డేటా ఉంటది.
ఆ కాపీ ఉండదండి, ఇది వెర్చువల్ అనమాట. మనం డైరెక్ట్గా S3ని మన స్నోఫ్లేక్లోకి ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేసుకుంటాం. సో S3 బకెట్ మొత్తాన్ని మనం ఈ ఈ ఈ స్టేజ్లో చూడొచ్చు అనమాట. ఇది ఒక స్టేజ్ అనమాట. స్టేజ్ అనేది ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్, ఇది ఒక వెర్చువల్ స్టేజ్. దీంట్లో మనం డైరెక్ట్గా S3కి కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తాం. అంటే S3లో ఏ ఫైల్స్ ఉన్నాయో అవి ఇక్కడ డిస్ప్లే అవుతాయి. సో ఈ ఫైల్స్ని మీరు ఇన్సర్ట్ కానీ అప్డేట్ కానీ డిలీట్ కానీ ఏదైనా చేయొచ్చు త్రూ దిస్ స్టోరేజ్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్.
Oh, so we don't have to migrate.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have to migrate. When this thing only works for on this only these three cloud. When it goes to on premises, right? We need to put the files physically into these stages.
That and I got it అండి. ఓకే. నా క్వెషన్ అదే ఫస్ట్ మనం ఆల్రెడీ నా కంపెనీలో S3లో డేటా ఉంది. ఫైల్స్ ఉన్నాయి.
Yeah.
మనము స్నో స్నోఫ్లేక్స్ ఇన్‌స్టాల్ చేసి కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసినప్పుడు అదొక S3 క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది మనకి.
అంటే యా, అంటే ఇక్కడ మనం ఏమి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయం. క్లౌడ్ అయితే డైరెక్ట్ కనెక్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయి.
ఓకే.
స్టోరేజ్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ అనే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో మన కనెక్టర్స్ ఇది ఒక రెండు కీస్ ఇస్తుంది, వీడు ఒక కీ ఇస్తాడు. ఆ రెండింటిని మనం ఎక్స్చేంజ్ చేయాలి. అంటే స్నోఫ్లేక్ ఐడి కీని తీసుకెళ్లి ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ ఇచ్చే కీని తీసుకెళ్లి ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో ప్లేస్ చేస్తే మీకు ఆటోమేటిక్ గా కనెక్టివిటీ అనేది బిల్డ్ అయిపోతుంది త్రూ దిస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్.
చేసుకుంటే సరిపోతది.
యా, బట్ వెన్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ టు ఆన్ ప్రిమిసెస్ వీ నీడ్ టు పుట్ ద ఫైల్ ఫిజికల్లీ ఇన్ టు ద స్టేజ్, దెన్ వీ నీడ్ టు లోడ్ ఇన్ టు ద టేబుల్.
ఓకే. గాట్ ఇట్.
So yeah, then you are good with this DDL and DML commands. I'm not going much. Okay.
యాహ్!
Uh,
ఎనీ మేజర్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఏమైనా ఉంటే అదొక్కటి కవర్ చేయండి.
yeah,
లేకపోతే అవసరం.
yeah, కొంచెం ఉంటుందండి. Okay, just you can go with this slide, these things. Okay, so generally in the other databases, we use SQL commands to do the transformations, data ingestions and analysis. Along with that, in the Snowflake, we can do the account management also. We can create these things. Okay, so and this SQL can be accessed through, we can execute SQL in the web as well as SnowSQL as well. Like in the command prompt as well, we need to install SnowSQL in our local system to run the queries. Okay, so yeah, remaining most of the things will be same, no major difference. Okay, so these are the other objects you can create in Snowflake apart from the other databases. Okay, and we already discussed about this use command. Then these are the database level objects we can create. We will discuss these objects in the later session. Okay, so this is about data types. So we all know char, var, text are the data types. For the numeric, we have this thing, what we called uh,
హ్మ్.
into small, into tiny, big, into all those things. Okay, so you already know there is a concept called nvarchar, but in the Snowflake by default it will, this varchar will support Unicode, so we can use directly varchar. We don't need any nvarchar like that. Okay, we can directly use it, the varchar itself, the UTF thing. So remaining all are same, like date for date, date only for time, time for date, time. We have timestamp. All these are same. Okay. So
Do we have to create like an unique identifier columns,
uh,
or do we have to specify this is an not nullable or a unique identifier?
constraints will work, not work only. Okay, again, we have multiple table types in Snowflake. Okay. So for the hybrid table only, we can create the constraints. For normal tables, we cannot use constraints. It will support constraint, but constraint will not applicable. That we'll discuss in the later slide.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So we can create table, same syntax, create table, table name, same. And the data types are same. Alter commands for altering, adding, removing all these things. And we have a drop table command for dropping the table. So this create, alter, drop, or truncate or DDL commands. Then, so we have this. This is somewhat special. I like to show. So if I want to see list of tables in my application, let me go cancel this. Let me go home. DDL. If I want to see what are the databases are available, I can use this command. Like in the Oracle, we have show star select star from alt underscore tables db underscore tables, right? In
Yeah.
the Snowflake, we use command called show tables or show databases. Okay, so if you want to search particular database, we use a keyword like, and then I can search the database name directly with this pattern matching. Show databases, and then so yeah, batch 49 is there, right? Let me create B.
Mm, uppercase.
We can do this pattern matching as well.
Oh, it doesn't. It's not a case. I mean, is
Yeah, here it has some what we call in the Snowflake. It has its own compiler, what we call the AI thing inside. When even though I have written the query wrong, it will correct it. 1 minute. Okay. So like inside this, there is a compiler. Okay, Snowflake will correct those query. Okay, before executing it, it will do something. It will correct the syntax as well in the background.
okay.
Yeah. So that is about show command. Yeah, you can go with the slide. All this, the thing, what are the things I have mentioned? So those are enough. Those are enough. Let me come back to the slide. So this is show command to see the list of tables, schemas, objects inside that particular schemas. These are helpful. Okay, then we already know the describe thing. Describe, whenever I execute this describe, it will show the structure of the objects and the parameters of the objects. Okay, so then we have these DML commands. In DML, we have insert, update, and delete. Okay, so actually in the other databases, okay, if I want to drop and recreate the table, what I do, I'll execute a drop, and then I'll create a table, right? But here we have a command called insert override. Okay, by using this insert override, what it will do, it will truncate and insert the data. Okay, that is what it do. Okay, if I want to truncate and load a fresh data, rather than using truncate and then rather than using the insert, I can use directly insert overwrite into command. For the objects, we use create or replace. So if the object is there, that object, if the object is not there, that object will be created. If object exists, it will be dropped and recreated again. So these things we need to remember. Create or replace is for object level. This insert is used for DML command. If I'm executing insert override, which means it will truncate the existing data and it will insert the new record.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that's it. We all know update, and this is the update syntax, and we know delete. I can delete entire all the records in a table, or I can delete only few records in a table. Okay, so that's it about DDL and DML. Okay, so when it comes to Snowflake, we have multiple table types: permanent, temporary, transient, external tables. Okay, we have multiple views and we have multiple stages as well. These things we'll discuss in the later class.
Okay.
So in the real time, we can classify data into three types: structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. Based on the data type, we choose the database. So if I want to work with structured and semi-structured, I can go with Snowflake or Databricks. If I want to go to if I want to go to unstructured, then I need to use this S3 blob or GCS storage in the real time. Okay, these things we'll discuss in the later class. But based on the data type, we choose the database. That is what I want to say. So that's it about the DDL and DML. Okay, so let me go with the DQL. This also you know, but I'll give some terminology, and then we'll end up the session. Okay, so as we know, whenever I execute select query, okay, it will go to the micro partitions and it will pick the data and it will print in the result set. Okay, we all know that actual data is completely different from result set. How we get the result set based on my conditions. Okay, so okay, the syntax is select star or column names from table names. Okay, so we'll go with the terminologies where we use in the real time. Okay, this queries like insert, update, delete, all these things we call it as statement or command. Okay, so same in the other databases we use this exclamatory, or I don't know, I forgot the name, but we use this thing for writing the comment. Whenever I'm executing the query, these comments will get ignored. I can use single line and multiple line commands. Okay, and then we have a concept called function. Okay, sorry, we have this select, update, delete, from, where, all these all we call it as SQL keywords. Okay, we have multiple classes in the DQL query, and few of them are select class, from class, and where class. Okay, in the from class, we'll put all the table names. In the select class, we'll put all the column names. In the where class, we can write our conditions. Okay, then there is a concept called these identifiers. Okay, nothing but the what are the things we define explicitly. They're like column names and table names, we call it as the identifiers. Then this is a function which will convert all the values from, which will transform or manipulate the data in the existing table. Then this is an operator, then this is a value. Okay, value is, SQL is not a case sensitive, but values are case sensitive. We need to put the values in a proper case. Okay, that's it about this keywords we use in the real time. So this is select class, this is from class, this is where class. Okay, this we call append, this is we call our value, this is operator, entire thing we call it as statement or command. Okay, so there is a database execution order we have. Even though I have executed select star from table name, the database will execute in a different way. How the database will get execute? First, it will execute from class, then it is going to execute select class. So, okay, so first it will execute from class, it will pick all the values, whatever the condition you have written in the select class. Based on the condition, the columns will get printed. Then we have a concept called schema. Okay, remember in the Snowflake, we can use a keyword called comment. Okay, this comment will help us to know why we have created this table, what are the information we are storing in this particular database or schema or table. With the help of this comment, comment will tell us what exactly there in these particular objects.
Do we have to mention the commit?
No, it's optional, but if you mention, we other users can understand why we have created this database or schema or any table or like that.
No, let's say if I'm inserting the records, right? Should I mention the commit? or it is auto commit?
Auto commit. Okay, here there is no concept called commit and rollback. So here each query will be committed automatically. So here the commit and rollback will not work in the Snowflake.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay, so as soon as I run that query, insert into or update or alter, right? It
Yeah,
will automatically
automatically impact on the database.
and I cannot roll back. If I want to roll
Rollback.
back,
We have a time travel. So by using time travel, we can revert to the previous changes, but I cannot
okay,
roll back it.
okay. But time travel is kind of an restore point.
Yeah, it's like a DBA thing. Like we do backupping, right? Like we restore the data, right, with the help of DBA. So same
Okay.
thing we can do with the help of this time travel. Yeah, that's it. So these are the rules we need to follow while writing this select this query. Okay.
Order by having those are all
All
still
those things
applicable.
will work. All those things will work. And just I'm at the DQL only. So we already know null. Null is means value is missing. So null is not equal to null, and you cannot compare null value with another null value. So null is completely different from empty string, padding, zeros, etc. Okay.
Oh,
So and then we know this alias concept. I can give alias name for the column on table as well. All these are same. 95% SQL will be same in all the databases.
okay. I mean, in case of null, I can just go with an NVL and replace
Here
the
we
new
don't have this NVL, NVL2. Here we have only queries. Only queries will.
work. Okay.
Okay, that's it about DQL. And then we have this where class. Same, all the operators are same. We have logical operators, comparison operators. In the
Group bys are all same, right?
all these are same. So we have this where class. Okay, similar to filter option. We have comparison operator and logical operators. We can all these things are you already know like AND operator, OR operator, IN operator. All these are
So,
we know
uh,
that we know right and yeah,
so rank, name, all those functions are
yeah,
available.
all those things will work and this like operator also will work exactly the same way. So as of now we have two wildcards, percentage and underscore. This will work in the same way as well.
Okay.
Again, then this testing also will work in the same way. That's it about the where operator. And then we have this sorting. So sorting also same. We have two conditions, ascending and descending. Okay. And then here we have a concept of limit offset similar to Oracle. And we have this null first and null last concept. So ascending, descending, null first, null last, limit and offset.
Okay.
Okay. Next we have this constraints. Okay. In the SQL, the constraints in the Snowflake, the constraints will work. Okay, you can use constraints, but it will not applicable. It is for the naming convention. Okay. So in the Snowflake, these constraints will not work, but you can use constraint, but it will not applicable. It is provided for the naming convention. So if you are doing migrations from Oracle or MS SQL, so your Snowflake don't want to confuse them. That is the reason you can use this primary key, all those things. But in the background, these constraints will not work on the data warehouse. As simple as it is. Okay.
Oh,
Except not null. Only not null constraint will work. Okay, I'll go with one example.
only not null will work.
Yeah,
Okay.
not null will work.
What about duplicate values?
Remaining all the constraints will not work. You can use the constraint only for the naming convention. అంటే సింపుల్ అండి వాళ్ళు ఎందుకు ఇచ్చారంటే డేటా వేర్ హౌసింగ్ లో కన్స్ట్రెంట్ అనేది అసలు కరెక్ట్ కాదు. మనం డేటా వేర్ హౌసింగ్ లో కన్స్ట్రెంట్స్ అనేవి వాడకూడదు. ఓన్లీ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ డేటాబేసెస్ లోనే వాడాలి. ఓకే. ఇవి మీకు అర్థం అవ్వాలంటే మీకు హడూప్ ఐడియా ఉందండి?
ఆహా! హడూప్ లేదండి.
ఓకే. నేను ఈ కోర్స్‌లో హడూప్ కూడా కవర్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే. మామూలుగా ఏంటంటే ఈ 2010 ఆ టైంలో హ్యూజ్ వాల్యూమ్ ఆఫ్ డేటా అనేవి ఒక సింగిల్ డేటా వేర్ హౌస్ మీద అవ్వట్లేదు. సో, అందుకని వాళ్ళు ఏం చేశారంటే డేటాబేసెస్‌ని 2గా బ్రేక్ చేశారు. ఒకటి ఓఎల్టీపీ, ఒకటి డేటా వేర్ హౌసింగ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఓఎల్ఏపీ అని. ఓకే. ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో ఇన్సర్ట్, అప్డేషన్, డిలీషన్ మొత్తం ఓఎల్టీపీలో చేస్తారు. హిస్టారికల్ డేటా మొత్తం అండ్ నథింగ్ బట్ రిపోర్టింగ్ సైడ్ అంతా డేటా వేర్ హౌస్ మీద చేస్తారు. సో ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు ఈ సెలెక్ట్ క్వైరీ వాడేటప్పుడు ఈ కన్స్టెంట్స్ ఎలాంటివి ఉంటాయో కొంచెం కన్స్టెంట్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఈ డేటా వేర్ హౌస్లోకి డేటా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయడం కొంచెం కష్టం అవుతుంది. అందుకని డేటా వేర్ హౌస్లో కన్స్టెంట్స్ అనే టాపిక్ వాడము. ఓన్లీ ఓఎల్టీపీలో మాత్రమే ఈ కన్స్టెంట్స్ అనేవి వాడతాం ప్రజెంట్ ఉన్న సిచ్యువేషన్లో. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ హడూప్ ఈ సెయింగ్. I'll explain you in the later classes when once this Hadoop concept came into picture. Okay, and just two constraints also. You can use all the constraints as well. Let me create a table here. Unexpected, not null. Name, varchar, not null. Okay, done. Now you can see insert into values. Let me go 1 comma 1. Okay, I have inserted one record. Right, I'm inserting, trying to insert duplicate record. These records will get inserted. Even though there is a primary key, it will not work. It's for the naming convention. ఓకే, వరాకిల్ నుంచి ఎంఎస్ ఈక్వల్ నుంచి మైగ్రేట్ చేసే వాళ్ళకి గుర్తుండడానికి, అంటే వాళ్ళకి జస్ట్ వాళ్ళు అలా కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వకుండా ఉండడానికి కన్స్టెంట్స్ అనేవి ప్రొవైడ్ చేశారు. మీరు బిగ్ క్వైరీ వాటికి వెళ్తే అసలు మీకు కన్స్టెంట్ కూడా కనిపించదు. ఎక్సెప్ట్ నాట్ నల్ తప్ప ఏ కన్స్టెంట్ వాళ్ళు యూజ్ చేయరు.
ఓకే.
ఓకే, బట్ నాట్ నల్ వర్క్ అవుతుంది. ఇఫ్ ఐ ట్రై టు ఇన్సర్ట్ నల్ వాల్యూ ఇన్సైడ్ ద డేటా వేర్ హౌస్.
బట్ మన టేబుల్‌లో క్లీన్ వాల్యూస్ ఉండాలంటే?
అర్థం కాలేదండి.
ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్
అంటే మీరు డూప్లికేట్స్ రాకూడదామంటున్నారు అంతే కదండి.
ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసుకునేటప్పుడు డూప్లికేట్స్ రాకోకుండా
అది
చేసుకోవాలి.
నేను మీకు 2 days డేటా వేర్ హౌసింగ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంటుందండి. అక్కడ మీకు ఈ డౌట్స్ అన్ని క్లియర్ అయిపోతాయి. క్లౌడ్లో
ఓకే.
డేటా ప్రాసెసింగ్ చాలా డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, క్లౌడ్లో డేటా ప్రాసెసింగ్ చాలా డిఫరెంట్గా చేస్తాం. సో దాని గురించి నేను ఒక 2 days సెషన్ తీసుకుంటాను.
ఓకే.
మీ గో విత్ దిస్. యాక్చువల్గా 2 days కాదు, 3 days తీసుకుంటాను, ఎందుకంటే హడూప్ కూడా యాడ్ చేశాను ఈ కోర్స్లో. హడూప్ అర్థం కాకపోతే ఇవి అసలు ఏం అర్థం కావండి. క్లౌడే అర్థం కాదు, హడూప్ అంతా హడూప్తో లింక్ అయి ఉంటుంది. సో నేను మీకు హడూప్ కూడా చెప్తాను. ఓకే, సో మనం ఆల్రెడీ డీటెయిల్ కంప్లీట్ చేసాం. ఓకే, వర్చువల్ వేర్ హౌసింగ్ గురించి నేను రేపు చెప్తాను. ఫంక్షన్స్ అండ్ కన్స్టెంట్స్ ఈ రోజు నేను కంప్లీట్ చేస్తా. ఓకే, మీకు 3 days ఉంటుందండి ఈ 2 sections. డేటా వేర్ హౌసింగ్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ క్లౌడ్లో ఎలా చేస్తారనే దాని గురించి నేను 2 days సెషన్ తీసుకుంటా. అక్కడ మీకు ఇవి కవర్ అవుతాయి.
ఓకే.
ఓకేనండి.
యాహ్!
ఓకేనా. సో యా, కన్స్టెంట్స్ అయితే మనకు వర్క్ అవ్వవు. దెర్ ఈస్ ఏ కాన్సెప్ట్ కాల్డ్ హైబ్రిడ్ టేబుల్. అక్కడ మనం హైబ్రిడ్ టేబుల్ని ఓఎల్టీపీ కింద వాడతాం. క్రియేట్ ఏ హైబ్రిడ్ టేబుల్. ఈ హైబ్రిడ్ టేబుల్ అనేది ఓఎల్టీపీ డేటాబేస్ అన్నమాట. ఓకే, అసలు ఈ హైబ్రిడ్ టేబుల్లో వితౌట్ కన్స్టెంట్ మీరు టేబుల్ కూడా క్రియేట్ చేయలేరు. లెట్ మీ ట్రై టు క్రియేట్ టేబుల్ విత్ ఐడి. ఇట్ విల్ ఆస్క్ యూ టు యూస్ ప్రైమరీ కీ. ఓన్లీ హైబ్రిడ్ టేబుల్లోనే మనకి కన్స్టెంట్స్ అనేవి వర్క్ అవుతాయి, నార్మల్ టేబుల్లో వర్క్ అవ్వవు. ఏంటి హైబ్రిడ్ టేబుల్, దీని గురించి నేను మీకు లేటర్ క్లాసెస్లో చెప్తాను. బట్
ఓకే.
except not null, other constraints will not work in the table.
ఓకే.
Clear కదండి.
యాహ్!
So that's it about this. And yeah, we'll take a break. Tomorrow I'll I'll explain these functions, Windows functions tomorrow.
సో,
లైక్ మీకు
వీకెండ్
ఇవన్నీ ఐడియా ఉంది కాబట్టి ఐ ట్రై టు కంప్లీట్ మండే లీవ్ అండి. ట్యూస్డేకి నేను విత్ క్లాస్ వరకు చెప్పేస్తాను, పైపైన చెప్పుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతా. ఓకే,
ఓకే.
సో వెర్చువల్ వేర్ హౌస్ ఒకటి నున్ను ఈ టేబుల్ టైప్స్ అనేవి మనం వెడ్నెస్డే అలా డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం.
ఓకే. సో, ఆహ్, వీకెండ్ గూడా క్లాసెస్ ఉన్నాయా?
లేవండి, సండే ఉండదు. సండే
ఓన్లీ సండే?
మండే. ఇవాళ సాటర్డే అండి మాకు. ఓకే, ఓన్లీ సండే క్లాస్ ఉండదు, హాలిడేస్ క్లాస్ ఉండదండి. సో మండే ఈజ్ ఎ హాలిడే.
ఓకే. యాహ్! మండే గూడా హాలిడే.
శివరాత్రి. సో మండే నుండి సండే హాలిడే. సో విల్ కనెక్ట్ ఆన్ ట్యూస్డే ఐఎస్టి ప్రకారం.
ఓకే.
విల్
సరేనండి.
కంప్లీట్ దీస్ అదర్ థింగ్స్. ఓకే, మీకు థర్స్డే కల్లా ఎస్క్యూఎల్ అయిపోతుందండి. మీకు మాక్సిమం పెద్ద డిఫరెన్స్ ఉండదు. ఓన్లీ ఫంక్షన్స్లోనూ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఒక్కట్లో కొన్ని ఫంక్షన్స్ ఎక్స్ట్రా యాడ్ అవుతాయి, అవి నేను మీకు హైలైట్ చేస్తాను.
ఈ లోపల నేను ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తానులేండి కొంచెం.
ఒకసారి మామూలుగా పైపైన జస్ట్ డిడిఎల్ ఏంటి, డిఎంఎల్ ఏంటి, డిక్యూఎల్ ఏంటి ఒకసారి గోత్రూ ఉంది. ఓకే, ఇన్ కేస్ ఏదైనా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయమన్నా, అంటే నాకు తెలిసి మీకున్న ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఎస్క్యూఎల్ మీరు ఎప్పుడో ఊదేసి ఉంటారు. నాకే ఇంకా చాలా తక్కువ తెలుసు మీతో కంపేర్ చేస్తే ఎస్క్యూఎల్ అనేది. బట్ ఐ ట్రై టు కవర్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ వాట్ ఆర్ ద ఫంక్షన్స్ దట్ స్నోఫ్లేక్ ఈస్ ప్రొవైడింగ్. ఆల్ దోస్ థింగ్స్ విల్ కవర్డ్ ఇన్ ద లేటర్ క్లాస్.
ఓకేనండి.
యా, థ్యాంక్స్ అండి.
యా, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.